I just want one quiet day on a 5 without someone threatening my personal space.
Sweetheart, your entire existence is a threat to my aesthetic.
Can you both keep it down? I'm trying to enjoy my retirement square.
Some of us are hanging out here. Literally, no support, no benefits.
Yeah, join the union. We've been complaining since Move 1.
Technically speaking, this is a classic prelude to a discovered attack structure.
Exactly. Which is why I'm about to reposition and ruin someone's day.
Wait, reposition how? What are you planning? Don't you start moving like that, queen, you know?
Queen to E1, new square, better lighting, and oh look, a diagonal straight to A5.
Why are you looking at me like that? That's a very aggressive diagonal.
Boss, what thing are we doing now? The discovered attack thing or checkmate thing?
Let's see how they want it, but yeah, we're setting the mousetrap.
Honestly, no one respects royal boundaries anymore.
This mousetrap snaps hard, and the Black Queen never saw it coming. Welcome to another episode of the Checkered Comedy, where animated chess meets high-level strategy and pure chaos. In today's puzzle from April 16, 2026, published on chess.com, we break down a deceptively simple position that explodes into a brilliant discovered attack and a devastating queen trap. But don't worry, you won't just learn it, you'll laugh through it. Now back to the game.
King to E5. I'm stepping out before someone screams checkmate again.
Hey, I'm still hanging here.
Not my problem. I have bigger existential threats.
Observe, class. The king has centralized, yet exposed himself to dynamic pawn thrusts. Just gonna move forward, man. On to D4 with check. Interns rise up.
Excuse me, who authorized this aggression?
And just like that, my diagonal opens. Hello again, queen on A5.
Wait, why am I under attack? Nobody briefed me.
I may be temporary, but I created chaos.
Did someone say chaos? I love chaos. Where am I?
Textbook discovered attack. I did say this earlier.
While I am here, have no fear, your majesty.
Tell my fellow interns. I tried.
Pawn from C5 takes pawn on D4. Problem solved. Boom. Check handled. Position stable.
Oh, honey, you handled the check, not the problem.
Wait, why is she still staring at me?
Relax. Queens can't move that far diagonally that fast.
That is profoundly incorrect.
This is why I needed more personal space, E.
Queen takes queen on A5 with check, and that is the mousetrap snapping shut.
My queen, this is unacceptable. I demand a rematch.
You'll have to file that complaint after you deal with this check.
Wow. She really just walked in and fired the boss.
Okay. I may have miscalculated.
And that concludes today's lecture on why pawns should not give strategic advice. So, are we winning or am I still lost?
We're winning, darling, decisively.
Let's dive into today's puzzle. Mousetrap, published on April 16, 2026, on chess.com. This is a beautifully instructive position that highlights the power of coordination and, most importantly, the concept of a discovered attack. As the title suggests, White is setting a clever trap, one where Black's own defensive instincts actually lead them deeper into trouble. At first glance, the position may not scream winning tactic, but with precise play, White can force a decisive material gain. This is exactly the kind of position where patience and foresight pay off. Watch closely how White sets the bait and then springs the trap at just the right moment. The key idea revolves around aligning pieces in such a way that one move unleashes multiple threats. That's the essence of a mousetrap in chess. Quiet preparation followed by a sudden snap. Let's walk through it carefully, move by move. White begins with a very subtle but powerful queen maneuver. Queen moves from B1. Now, this is not a random repositioning. From E1, the queen lines up along the diagonal toward A5, where Black's queen sits. At the same time, White is quietly preparing a discovered attack using the pawn on D2. There's also a latent mating idea in the background, which forces Black to respond carefully. Black replies with king moves from F4 to E5, stepping out of immediate danger. This is actually Black's best defensive try, as it avoids any direct mating threats. However, notice what Black has done. They've centralized their king, but also placed it on a square that can be targeted. Additionally, the pawn on a4 for White is hanging, but capturing it would be far too slow. Already the tension is building. White has improved their queen dramatically, and the stage is set for a tactical breakthrough. Now comes the critical moment. White plays pawn, moves from d2 to d4 with check. This is the heart of the combination. This pawn advance does two things at once. It checks the king on e5 and, more importantly, it unleashes the queen on e1. This is the discovered attack. Suddenly, the queen on e1 is attacking Black's queen on a5. This is the mousetrap snapping into place. Black is in check and must respond, but they also have a queen under attack. Unfortunately for Black, they cannot address both threats adequately. Black chooses pawn moves from c5 to d4, capturing the pawn. This removes the checking pawn and is objectively the best move available. However, it walks directly into the trap. Notice how Black had no time to save the queen on a5. Also, this move opens lines but does nothing to resolve the underlying tactical problem. White's queen is still poised to strike, and now, the payoff. White calmly executes queen moves from e1 to a5, capturing the queen with check. This is the culmination of the entire idea. The Black queen on a5 was effectively trapped from the moment White played queen to e1. The discovered attack ensured that Black could not defend it in time. Not only does White win a full queen, but they do so with check, maintaining the initiative. From here, the position is completely winning for White. The Black king remains exposed, and White's material advantage is overwhelming. This sequence is a textbook example of how to coordinate threats and exploit forcing moves. The mousetrap theme is perfectly illustrated. Black stepped into a position where every move led to loss. As advanced players, the lesson here is clear. Always be alert to discovered attacks, and always consider how your opponent's forced replies might leave something else vulnerable.
Which piece was the funniest, and did you spot the trap before it happened? Please let know in the comments. Like the video if the queen deserved better, subscribe for daily animated chess puzzles and strategy lessons. Check out our full playlist for animated chess puzzles, traps, and tactics designed to improve your game while keeping you entertained. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned!